Hello, everybody. We are back, and we are hopefully going to be continuing our Scarlet Hollow journey with my friend Hanapengu, who, by the way, can you check that you are audible on the stream?
Hello. Let me see. Yeah. Give me
I was like, but in a device.
I've been waving because I didn't want to talk over you.
No, I mean valid. But
yes. Okay. The easy way to do this is not phone. It is to mute where I'm normally hearing you and then listen to the stream and unmute the stream. Mute and unmute. Okay. Now I'm going to
say things.
I hear myself! Yay!
Okay, perfect. And I need to make sure my phone is muted while I monitor my stream on it. But, okay. Awesome. Well, everybody welcome back. Last time we completed chapter 1, and this time we are going to hopefully complete chapter 2. We'll see how that goes. We were... do I need to select hardcore mode or just start?
No, I think you can load from our last save. Yeah.
Because we are doing
And then it will
hardcore mode, which is the one where our name is Streamer, and we are a streamer. And we have... What are our characteristics? We have keen eye, street smarts, and powerful build, I think?
Powerful build, yep.
Yeah. So, very exciting. Did we...
our white collar crime build. Right. Our Carmen Sandiego build, that was it.
Right. And we're not going to get anything into the diary until we enter episode 2. But in our previous choices, we unfortunately shone the flashlight, and therefore Gretchen died. But shall we continue?
Yes, and I will try to stop obsessing with how my shirt collar is uneven.
Your shirt collar is fine. Do we want to see a recap? I don't think we need one, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need it because I want to look at the journal. So there's our recap, right? We devoured boiled peanuts when offered. Thank you, kind stranger. He was not a kind stranger.
Thank you, rude stranger.
Right. We found an opossum living in our dresser. We snuck into the forbidden wings of the estate and heard the piano and saw Wayne there. Excuse me. We lost Gretchen in the woods and watched Duke put her out of her misery. We punched a monster in the face. We are the danger. We met Stella's friend Kanika and her mother, Sybil, and learned about ditchlings. And thank you. And returned to Tabitha's estate before going to bed. So we did not stay with Stella. We came home and apologized to Tabitha. I am having a drinking problem. Clearly.
Oh no.
But thank you for the hydrate. I clearly need to do it more. Okay. Alright. You open your eyes. The sun has risen. The birds are singing. You're still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window and the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are lurking there right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the crumbling estate. A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety, wriggling as the events of the last night play out in your head. You can't help but remember the sight of pale faces jeering at you as they carried Gretchen's poor little body into the underbrush. You are not sure if you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Especially not this bed. It sounds atrocious. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Okay, I feel like we should look at all these things.
Yeah, might as well.
Let's check on the
Say hi to Dustin.
You open the drawers to check in on the little opossum you met yesterday. Oh good, he's still there. That's nice. I don't think we want to pet him. No, I think we just leave him in peace. You decide to leave the little man's in peace. Alright, let's look in the closet. Great, the doll didn't move during the night. Maybe it isn't haunted after all, though after everything you went through yesterday, that's hardly a constellation. I remember the first time I saw that, and I was so disappointed the doll didn't move.
Fair.
You turn back to the rest of the room. Alright, let's look out the window. You creep towards the window, careful not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. Do. Look, it's what's lurking in the garden. Hi, Wayne. Yeah, and he's gone.
Wayne.
For a second, you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal. It could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now.
I really do like how that's done, though, because the first couple times I played this, I super didn't notice.
Same. Yeah, and there's like nothing else really to see here. Okay, maybe you'll head out there and investigate after you finished waking up. We do need to text Stella. It's probably a good idea to check in with your new friend. You can't imagine she's holding up very well.
I would say, how are you holding up, or send a picture of a tired cat.
I think I'm gonna say how you're holding up.
Yeah.
It might take her a minute to get back to you. In the meantime, let's get dressed and head down to the kitchen. Time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Frou-Frou eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. Do we ask if we pet her, or do we just let her be?
I say ask, and then if she, and then we can see her be grumpy.
You're right. Okay. Excuse me, ma'am, but may I pet your beautiful fur? Part of you hopes that flattery might win her over, as silly as that may seem. You are, after all, talking to a cat. Frou-Frou merely flicks her tail faster. It doesn't look promising. Alright, are you gonna be Tabitha?
Yes.
Excellent.
Hey! You sure took your time getting up. I think I had a really rough night is kind of legit.
Yeah, that's valid. I had a really rough night. Can you cut me some slack?
No. It's not my fault that Stella got you all worked up, and I'm late enough as it is, so listen up. I wanted to make sure I relayed this message in person in case you decided to ignore my texts again. I don't want any repeats of last night. From now on, no running around in the woods after dark. It's dangerous out there. You could fall down a cliff. You could get stuck in a hidden cave somewhere. You could get lost in the woods and never be found.
At least 2 of those are ways in which her relatives died.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't know if anybody got lost in the woods, never to be found. But yes, no, someone did. What's-her-face is missing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
This is
no,
Enoch
those are...
and Teddy and what's
Well, I
her
mean,
name?
it wasn't a hidden cave that Teddy got stuck.
Okay, that's true, but still. And what's her name? That
It was one of the names that starts
Annabelle?
with Alex, I think.
Annabelle?
Alexia
No.
or Alexia?
Alexandria. The one whose doll it is. I think. Yeah, this is like basically how her relatives died. I just thought of that.
Yeah, no, I never really noticed that before either.
Yikes.
Just because nothing happens here doesn't mean it's safe. And just because Stella spends a lot of time in the woods, it doesn't mean she'll keep you out of trouble. I want you home by sunset from here on out. I don't think it's totally unreasonable to ask what's up with her and Stella, but I wouldn't do the other one.
Oh, can I hang out with you? I was thinking of just like apologizing.
She does actually tend to like it. I read somewhere that she likes it best when you are like, you push back a little bit, like you stand up for yourself, but not too, like, not like
valid.
Totally fight with her, but...
Valid. All right, and I am interested in what's up with her and Stella. What is up with you and Stella? ...
We just have a history, that's all. I don't need to explain myself to you.
Okay, now we can apologize. Because I definitely don't think we should do this. I don't think we should do this. I don't think I should do this. And that's just terrible. So,
Yeah,
I think apologizing or being silent is the way to go, and I think apologizing is needed. I'm sorry about last night. I had no idea what was going to happen, and I didn't think I'd worry you like that.
Good. Glad we're on the same page.
Oh, God. That face.
I'm late enough as it is. I'm going to work. I expect to see you here at sunset.
Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door.
Sunset.
Your cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak, then slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Oh my God! Apparently, I cannot talk today. Once again, you're the only human in the estate that you know.
That's probably true.
Yeah. A text from Stella. How do we want to do that? I don't remember who had what. I think you had Stella.
Okay, so
I
I
had
definitely
Kanika.
had Tabitha. I think
you had Stella and I had Kanika.
I had Stella and you had. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Because you had terrible grandma voice.
Yes. Up most of the night on cryptid forums, but no good answers yet. Chugging coffee in library now if you want to join. I have scones.
Okay.
Say one of the first two.
Yeah, I think so. Cool. On my way. And that's that. Time to start your day. Okay. I think we definitely need to explore the garden.
Yes.
Investigate
for sure.
the garden. As your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering the brief glimpse of something you saw from your upstairs window. It was probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you and compels you to investigate, if only to prove that it was nothing. Well, here's, I think, Dustin's mom.
Oh, yeah!
I'm just, seeing if there's anything else interesting around that we can see.
I had a really random thought about food that we eat over the course of the game and the opossums.
Oh.
I wonder if there will ever be a moment, maybe a next episode, of if you take the chips from the general store when Miles offers them, and then if you can then give them to Dustin.
Ooh, I don't think I have a single run where I've done it.
I definitely have.
I did it for the achievement, but then
right.
went back.
I have a character who's street smarts and something else, so I figured is, relatively chill about that kind of thing. And you grab a pack of salt and vinegar chips, they shall sustain you in the coming days.
Oh. For when you're lost in a hidden cave and nobody can find you. All right, well, let's see what happens next. At the very least, you don't see anything now. Okay, obviously we're investigating further. You wander farther into the garden, trying to pinpoint the spot where the thing has been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. Okay, so I swear this child looks like she has horns.
Oh yeah. That's unsettling.
Yeah. Alright, I'm not seeing anything else. I'm assuming that's the cemetery up there.
Yeah.
We don't have anything here yet. I guess that's the door we came out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I am not seeing anything else new or exciting here. Should we take it all in? Or check the ground?
I don't think you really need to. I think it's just check the ground is really the...
Okay. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. A boot print. A big boot print. And what looks like some kind of viscera. Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. Okay, so here's our viscera. Here's our boot print. Nothing else but leaves. Okay. You snap a quick photo, just in case it comes in handy later. I think I've already gotten the...
Don't tell anyone.
The don't tell anybody
in which case, yeah, I'd say we're trying to be friendly and we're kind of low key trying to befriend everyone. So I'd say text it.
You sent the photo to Stella. Yeah, I think you're right. We are. We're just trying to be like just kind of generically nice and survive and hope for the best. All right. Look what I found in the garden across from my window. No way that's Tabitha-sized. You head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. Do we want to make a peanut butter sandwich?
I mean, I feel like you've got scones waiting for you.
Yeah, I think let's just head to town. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday when you didn't yet know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. Much more appealing in a bar. You stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any signs of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now.
Right, I'm going to turn my AC on because I am warm.
Okay. The autumn-tinged mountains, sprawling for miles in every direction, now feel less like beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. And when you live there, you keep longing for the sea. As we know, that's what happens here. Everybody longs for the ocean. Your phone buzzes in your pocket.
Jeez, that's creepy. All the more reason to come to the library. Look who I found at library. Said she was up all night thinking about the video. Adding you to a group text.
I'm only here because it's quieter than the store. Or was, lol. And I'm trying to figure out what animal that could be. I don't buy into this harbinger of doom stuff.
We know what animals they are. They're ditchlings and they are harbingers of doom.
Sounds like they're having fun. Can't wait to solve this mystery.
Yeah, very, very Scooby Gang.
Right? I don't think that messes up anything.
Yeah. On my way, maybe? Or no? Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Can't wait to solve this mystery.
I mean, it does fit with the personality we were kind of going with the gung-ho about everything.
Gung-ho about everything, very much like Lara Croft, Indiana Jones sort of adventure, also is in text speak.
Yeah.
Almost back to town. You make it to town in one piece. No creatures jumped out at you, no scary men blocked your path. The sight of other people is comforting, helping you forget the things that you've witnessed, as if they happened to someone else. I can be Avery. Yeah, because then you can be subtle. Oh, hey, streamer. We were just talking about you. I stopped by Sybil's to pick up her new tea blend, and, well...
You're the biggest thing to come into town since the coal mine. Folks have been absolutely buzzing about you.
You went out with Stella last night, right? Did something happen out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. And Gretchen wasn't with her. They're never apart. Okay. So
we could very believably lie, but if we're doing a, like, friends with everyone character, there's no reason not to just be like, hey, here's what happened.
Yeah, I mean...
But on the other hand, if Stella didn't say, like, I mean...
Right, so tell the truth is valid. It's Stella's place to talk about it is valid. That's just kind of
Yeah, the other two are rude.
Yeah, okay, so it's got to be one of these two.
Like, I usually go for telling Avery the whole truth, but, like, in this case, there's validity to the second one.
Yeah, but I think let's stick to the like straight and to the point,
Yeah,
open
yeah.
and yeah. Stella and I went into the woods to try to find a skunk ape, but we ran into something way worse. Actual monsters. Sybil said they're called ditchlings, but whatever they are, they took Gretchen and have been mutilating the local wildlife. Whoa, 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 slow down. Something took Gretchen? No wonder Stella ran off like that.
I can corroborate, at least with regards to their encounter. I may not have been out there with them, but I've seen their footage, and they encountered something otherworldly in those woods.
Well, whatever it was that happened out there, you're clearly a little shaken up. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blend and try to calm your nerves.
It's chaga and lemon balm. It always helped me on the bad days.
And if you need to talk about what happened, I'm all ears. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, streamer. See you, Sybil.
Take care now, Avery. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. I kind of like that.
Which one? The
top
this
one.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely an
I mean,
option.
that or the second one.
Second was an option. And I think those are the only two, yeah. Which one do you think we should do?
I guess it's more in keeping with the personality we've been going with so far to do the second one.
Yeah. We can also do the first one and then go back, right? Because we have the autosaves.
I mean, yeah.
See what it does.
If for some reason we really don't like the top one, yeah, we could go back and do the other one.
Yeah, because I'm kind of interested to see what she says.
Sure.
Alright. Hey, lady, I don't like being yanked around. Last night you were on about some great doom landing on our doorstep, and now you're stone cold about it. What gives? Because something isn't adding up here.
I've shared what I know about the ditchlings, and I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe, Truth Streamer, and God bless.
I think I'd like to go back.
Wow, that was invasive as hell.
Yeah.
I suspect she'll respond very similarly the other way as well.
Let's find out. Because
Sure.
I think we've got the auto
You're on save, not load.
Yep. It's the same.
Now you're on load.
Let's see.
I think
This
it would
one.
just be the most recent one.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this one. What aren't you telling us? You're awfully relaxed given everything you told us last night.
Exactly the same, yeah. Oh no, a little different. Don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. We all have our parts to play in this.
I think this is very similar to what she says when you're mystic.
I've shared what I know about the ditchlings, and I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things.
Right. So that's the same.
Yeah, it's basically the same, but I actually do feel like this second one is more in character.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe, streamer, and God bless.
God, I hate that woman.
I know.
You probably have a bit of time before you're needed at the library. So, going to the general store is where the potato chips come into play.
Yep.
What happens at the diner? Because I'm not sure if I've ever actually taken
Avery.
that option. Do we actually...
We just chat with Avery a little.
Okay. Which one do you think we should
And
do?
optionally drink tea. But
What happens from this tea? This tea.
it's the same. It locks you either time that you are offered tea. If you drink tea this time,
Mm-hmm.
major spoilers, anyone who's watching this as your first playthrough, you shouldn't watch someone either play it yourself or watch a less spoily playthrough.
Watch our old VODs.
If you drink the tea here, you cannot turn her down in chapter 4.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Because you have already had some of her tea, and she thus has some level of control. Even if you try, and you also can't accuse her.
Right.
That thing where it's like, that's silly. She's trying to help you. Why would she be the cat?
Yeah.
But if you don't drink the tea, you have more freedom to do what you want. In other words, we can go talk to Avery, but don't drink the tea.
Yeah, that tea in chapter 4,
Well, that's kind of what solidified that, plus how creepy she is about Kanika, is what solidified everyone's doubts and suspicions about her.
And also the beans that she's growing. But
oh, right, that's also when you see that she's the one growing the castor beans.
Yeah, the castor beans. So my recollection is that one, Mystic gave you obviously a lot more that you just saw from the seals, but having the tea also, because if you had the tea,
yes, you cannot,
you recall the mention of a witch, and if you don't have the tea, even with Mystic, you don't.
And also you literally cannot process what Dr. Kelly says when she implicates Sybil.
Yes, that's right.
And also you are unable, even if you have keen eye, you are unable to remember the beans in Sybil's office. So yes, she is absolutely mind controlling people through her tea.
But specifically, she is not just obscuring memory of any potential wrongdoing on her part. Almost more importantly, she is, because of the memory from Enoch and Teddy, right? She is inserting a sort of good witch potential. Like, she's inserting a position. That because we only have that bit with the tea. Right?
Fair.
Like, I'm assuming she's also implanting that memory. Right?
I mean... Okay, sorry, I kind of lost you. So,
sorry, okay.
So I'm pretty sure there's a mention of the witch with or without the tea.
No. So we only get the full scene with Mystic, but
right, obviously,
and we get that entire scene minus just the snippet about the witch without the tea. It's weird, but we will find out in chapter 4.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Should we go talk to Miles, or should we swing by the diner? I'm sort of inclined.
We can do both.
Oh, can we? All right,
yeah.
Let's go by the diner first, then. You head towards the diner. I think you get to be Avery in this one. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah, I'll take it over.
The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Shall we just talk to Avery?
Do not warn patrons of the danger.
Yeah. Well, this guy is still here on Tuesday.
Yep.
It's good to know. Right. You slide into the booth across from Avery.
Hey there, stranger.
Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might need this. The answer is 29 down is oink, by the way.
What? But the clue is pen sound. How's that a sound a pen makes? Wait, pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that?
I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you.
It's just something to do to fill the time, but maybe I should switch to Sudoku.
Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter.
So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to get into the grisly details, you can tell me. I won't judge. Don't try the tea. Don't do it.
Yep. We can just tell him about it, right?
Yeah, I think I'm fine with just jumping into it.
Yeah. You spilled the beans, glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed.
Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I can't believe Gretchen is really gone. It seemed like that dog was gonna live forever. And monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. I can't say I like the thought of it.
Love the powerful build, like strong defender.
It's a little idealistic, but
yeah. Should we find out more about Avery?
No reason why not.
Alright. I hadn't pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from?
I moved here from Charlotte, gosh, 3 years ago now? Maybe a little more. I have lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of.
Should we do the Kenai thing?
I do like the Kenai, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're more at home here than you think. Stella really talked up your party yesterday. I don't think she'd have done that if she didn't think you were really part of the town. Could be that you're getting in your head about fitting in.
Hey, thanks. I hadn't actually thought about it like that.
Should we
I'd
ask
say maybe why did you leave, but not do you regret?
Yeah. Why'd you leave Charlotte, if you don't mind me asking?
Nah, it's cool. I was having some issues with my folks about my education, which, wasn't great. Especially since I was still stuck under their roof. When my aunt heard about it, she offered me a job and a place to stay, and the rest is history.
I think...
Yeah.
This one?
I think let me know. Yeah, let me know if you happen.
Yeah. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything.
Definitely. Oh man, it looks like my shift is starting. I hope you're doing a bit better. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual.
Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half-wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day, having not touched the evil tea. All right, let's swing by the general store. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. Okay, let's not send him away.
Politely introducing yourself is...
Yeah. Hi, I'm Streamer. I just got to town yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Mom told me.
What's your name?
Miles. Chips. Ask about chips.
So if I wanted to buy some chips or something here, do I talk to you or... Miles
Oh, wait, no.
sighs.
I guess, yeah. Kanika decided to skip work today, so of course whatever plans I had didn't matter. Just take the chips. I don't care. So, for the record, if you have Hot, he is much more friendly to you here, and he reveals that actually they make the majority of their money off of bulk sales, and so a single bag of chips actually genuinely isn't a big deal. Therefore, I totally support doing the street smart.
Okay, let's be Carmen. Hell yeah! Thanks for looking out, man. You grab a bag of salt and vinegar chips from a nearby shelf. It will sustain you in the coming days.
Right on.
Do we care about his phone? I don't think
Not
we
really. I think Sia is fine at
do.
this point.
See ya, Miles. Miles doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Alright. Let's head to the
Before
library.
we hit up the library, I'm gonna go actually get my water, because I don't have it at all. It's in another room.
Ooh, that's terrible. Go get hydration. I'm going to consume my hydration. Because, like... Also, I'm going to move this box, which looks like it's in danger of falling off my bed. Alright. Meanwhile, I'll just stick the content warning here again, just in case. Because, you know, it's never not a good idea to put that content warning up. But yeah. Oh, I should also turn on the closed captions in my own channel so that I can make sure they're working. Because I think they're capturing.
I return with liquid.
Yay, liquid.
For hydration purposes.
That's true, because otherwise the only other option would be to, like, pour it on your head, and that's not as effective, really.
Yep.
Alright, let me just make sure I have the correct screen up. Okay. Shall we continue? I do love the library and all of its weird shit. I draw your attention to this amazing painting of somebody being run out of town on a rail. And also a random cat.
Yep.
You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas.
Oh, hey, you made it.
I think we just settle in.
Yeah.
You head over to Stella and Kanika's table and settle in.
You made it. Glad you could join us.
Morning, streamer. You look tired. Should we snitch on Miles? Probably not.
Nah. Not if you said, thanks for looking out, man. That's just, you don't snitch on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like that one.
Yeah. Yep, I also like, Kanika, you can't just tell someone they look tired. But I don't think we know her enough yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm inclined to go with the gung-ho adventure Scooby-Doo thing.
Sure, yeah.
I'm still amped up on adrenaline, actually. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. Some creepy old guy with a real estate scheme and a bad costume is at least a little more believable than monsters and curses.
That'd honestly be a relief at this point.
Anyways, I guess we should get started.
Oh. Before I forget, we've got to talk about that photo you sent me this morning. Kanika, check this out. Streamer found it in Tabby's garden this morning, right in line of sight of her room.
What in the world is that liquid around it? It looks like pus. Like all of these are good.
Yeah, like none of them are bad options.
I think this is like really probably the best one.
I mean, it is if that is what you're deducing. Like, it seems like if you're like, it seems like it might have been Wayne. Let's all chit. And I'm trying to like run this by people. Yeah, I agree. Summary,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Do you think it's Wayne? That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room?
He snuck up on us last night and called out Streamer by name. And those boot prints match up with the mining getup.
Whoa. Apparently I missed a lot last night, huh?
I wonder if there's any connection between that guy and what happened in the woods last night.
Like what?
I mean, I don't have anything specific, but we do have that whole prophecy of impending doom angle to explore, and this photo is weird.
I can't stop thinking about those splatters on the ground. If he's sick, maybe it's from the creatures you encountered. Oh, do you want to be Oscar?
I'll try. I always try to do him with a deeper voice, but I do not have a deep voice.
You don't need him to have a deeper voice.
Well, I'm gonna do the voice I usually do for him, which is a faulty attempt at a low voice.
Okay.
Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger.
Hey, I'm Streamer, Tabitha's cousin. I'm in town for the funeral.
Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez. Is it Gutierrez?
I think it's Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, Chief Librarian, and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all library had was a couple of shelves of boring books donated by old people.
Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled.
Let's find out about the old Maxwell place, I guess?
Yeah.
What's the old Maxwell place?
It's this great old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens.
I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese.
I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home.
Should we?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do that first one because I know they're not taking care of themselves.
Right.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to weigh in on this. You could just say nothing.
Yeah, I think that's actually the way to go here. You say nothing and let the others talk. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here.
Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Or, should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books.
I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods.
I think the second one works with the vibe we've been doing.
Yes. It's nothing that we can't get to the bottom of.
I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again.
I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble, and will make sure to keep our eyes peeled.
Thanks, Kanika. And Streamer, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know her dad is worried about her?
Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand.
Got him! Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books.
Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair.
All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started.
Reading awaits. Oh God. Right. These, all of them. Okay.
We can take turns.
Yep. All right. Well, I got this one. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by a short stint serving as a captain of the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region, culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918. It was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the death of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother, Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. So, yeah, briefly tangent here. I listened to a podcast called This Podcast Will Kill You, which is mostly like two epidemiologists talking about like diseases and, you know, an episode per thing. They recently had an episode about asbestos and asbestos mining.
You told me about this.
Yep, and they talked about the mine in Libby, Montana. And so as I'm like reading this, evaded the coal union, was the most profitable mine in its region, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like at this point in my life, it should no longer surprise me when I find out that, things that generally make me go, oh God, the past is the worst, happened into like the 90s. And
if
probably
not even more recently.
Into today, right?
Yup.
Like,
it would be.
Yeah.
It's really just a nice fantasy to think that
That we got
that
any
sort
better?
of thing doesn't happen anymore.
That we got even remotely better? Like,
I mean, there are some areas that got at least remotely better, but
like
then there
I'm
are areas that have gotten worse. So, I mean,
yeah,
depending on when you're comparing it to, but still.
yeah, I'm just not actually sure any of the areas actually got any better. Like, I'm not just talking about mine safety, right? Like, obviously,
Right.
it's probably much safer, but also this nonsense. But also, like,
Yeah.
you know, when I look at a history book and I read about, for example, like the Tuskegee syphilis experiments, it makes perfect sense for those experiments to be set up the way they were, like, in the 20s. It does not make perfect sense for them to be like reviewed into the mid 70s and people being like, yeah, no, this is totally fine. Everything is fine here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the fact it took so dang long for people to realize that that was super messed up is upsetting.
yeah, that's the thing. We keep thinking about it in terms of, oh, people didn't know, and when they found out, blah, blah, blah. No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no.
no, that's absolutely not how it worked.
People knew. It's that it took them that long to realize that it looks bad that they're still doing it. Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not even like they got ethically better. It's that they realized that, oh, public relations.
I mean, you know what? If bad optics is what it takes to stop it, I'll take it, but it
I
would be
mean,
nice if it was genuinely because
I'll,
people realized that what they were doing was bad.
right? Like, I'll take it because it's better than not, but, like, ah,
Anyway,
humans. Anyway, sorry. Shall we flip through Silas Scarlet, Soldier, Woodsman, Leader?
yes, and I can take this one.
Okay.
Silas Everett Scarlett was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlett in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlett. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10: Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlett, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine.
You finished with this one.
Yeah, you are.
God. Folk monsters.
All right, do you want to trade off?
Yeah.
Or
I think so.
also, do you want me to do a full rendition of Taily Po or just a simple one?
Oh, just a simple one.
Oh.
I don't like it. Unless you really want to do it.
Nah. It strains my voice a little to do the creepy Taily Po voice.
Okay. A few entries catch your eye. Alright, so we got the Wumpus Cat, the Tommy Knockers, and Tailipo. So, do you care which ones of these you do?
I'm happy to read for the Taily Po. I don't care about the other two.
Why don't you do the cat and I'll do Tommy Knockers?
Okay. Wampus Cat, a large cat-like creature with, well, it doesn't really say that part, so.
Yeah, sorry.
With some features.
Okay. Sorry,
That's fine. Often linked to Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus Cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down and, by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of their region from its evil. Others say that the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness and serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. Like the first half, hate the second half.
Yep. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They're traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place.
Talipo. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick, and ran back through its hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail, shot off by the hunter's rifle. "Guess this'll have to do," he said to his dog, and threw the tail in a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night, the tail filling them both up. The hunter crawled into bed, satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been. And in the gloom, he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my Talipo," a high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away," he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying its movements. "I want my Talipo," the creature growled again. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. "I want my Talipo." Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning, all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and his cabin was a chimney standing alone in the woods.
Okay.
And to self-promote a little bit, if you want to hear me do an even better voice for the Talipo creature, I'm actually that was my saving my voice version of voicing it, but I do a full high-pitched creepy sound in a highlight video on my channel. So
nice.
Consider checking that out.
Yes, definitely check out
I went like full creepy on that one.
Pengu's channel. All right. You close the book and put it back. I think I'm all done. Let's check in.
All right. If we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything?
Before you could respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut.
Aw, hey Pixel.
You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find.
Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats.
Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats.
Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him.
Should we ask about a pet peeve or Shredder?
Up to you. I don't think it really matters one way or the other.
We'll leave Pixel be. You decide
Like,
to leave
obviously
Pixel
they've
be.
thought about it, so.
Yeah. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep.
Alright, I'd better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything.
We should ask him about Rosalina, though, right?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Have you had any luck with Rosalina?
Not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're all done and check in on her usual haunts.
Let's just take top to bottom, because I feel like we should just talk about all of them.
Agreed.
Stella, what was that you were saying about nuclear incidents? You were talking about that Goldsboro thing, right?
Yeah. Apparently in the 60s, a B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up midair and dropped a couple of bombs. Fascinating bit of history there. The first of the two bombs landed upright after its parachute got caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At the time, the government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but it later came out that the only thing preventing a detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on the descent. And 60 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered. Right. Its conventional explosive disintegrated in midair, but most of the nuclear material was made unrecoverable by flooding. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up.
That's disconcerting.
The third one?
Having recently seen Oppenheimer. And yes, he didn't mention the third one. Because usually there's three, right?
What? Oh, no, I was saying, of the options here, maybe the third option.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. If the bomb is somewhere else, why would there be so many ditchlings here? Yeah, Goldsboro is almost 400 miles from here. Not that we should be looking too hard at the disaster angle. Whatever these creatures are, they're biological.
Look, you never know with radiation.
We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you. It doesn't make monsters. That's not true. And a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. It totally makes weird mutated animals. It really does, but not like this.
Yeah.
Like the deer with giant tumors? 100%.
Oh, absolutely,
Ditchlings? Less so.
Yeah.
Like, I could believe maybe, like, mutated somewhat giant naked mole rats or something, but, like, not much
Maybe, but they would not have gotten that human-shaped.
Correct. Or start talking, or
Well, that too,
reproduce
but
by
you can only
weird
understand them with-
implant. Like,
You can only understand what they're saying if you have talked to animals and
That's-
mystics, so technically they're not talking.
That's true, because you don't get it with just talk to animals, right?
Correct.
Right. Yikes.
Anyway. So yes, you never know. There could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up.
I've missed this. Do we want to ask about a cult?
I think the cult angle's funny.
You lean in and quietly whisper to Stella and Kanika. Do you guys think that there's, like, a cult here?
If we're gonna say one of those things, definitely not the third. But maybe they were, like, summoned?
Yeah. Maybe the ditchlings were, like, summoned as part of a ritual or something like that.
I'd assumed the spiral we found was some sort of nest made by the ditchlings, but yeah, maybe we had cause and effect backwards. I'm writing it down.
It's much more likely that that thing was a nest than it was some sort of magical ritual site. All right.
Might as well go down
let's just
go down the list.
So, about the coal mines here. Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never.
Speak for yourself. I love a good crevasse.
Oh, Stella. What happened after the mine collapse? The book just kind of glosses over that.
There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's not a whole lot written about the past century here.
Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business.
No offense or anything. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did.
Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason she and I don't talk.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, to be fair to Tabby, she's been running the mine for a week. As far as I could tell, Pearl was still involved, basically up till her death.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably she was involved in running the mine, but she certainly wasn't, like, the only voice.
She was probably, in the process of handing power over to Tabitha, but, like,
right.
I doubt she had actually left.
Right. It's not like
so,
Tabitha
like,
had power.
It's not all on Tabby that she hasn't let the union in. She's
right.
had a week to consider it without Pearl blocking it.
Right. A union-busting mine collapsed from poor working conditions. Color me shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. Oh, right, that's me too. That's what the sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day.
Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there. Probably to try and show us how good we have it, or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is. That could be what the ditchlings are warning us about. Another collapse. Writing it down on the list of potential disasters.
Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. And besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way you could get away with the kind of safety cutbacks he pulled.
Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right?
No, I don't think so.
Phew. Had me worried there for a second.
I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought.
You never know.
You guys really seem to have a bone to pick with Charles Shaw. That's what happens when someone directly causes a monumental disaster, especially in a small town like this. People tend to spit when they hear your name.
He got run out of town on a rail, And that's not a figure of speech. Back then, they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural of it over on the far wall.
Is that actually true?
I've never looked it up.
Me either. It just seems so stupid. Like, we're gonna find a railroad track bit.
No, actually, people who were thought... In colonial times, people who were thought to be too loyal to Britain or too outspoken against independence or crown tax collectors were sometimes tarred, feathered, and then tied to a wooden fence rail and carried out of town. So in fact, it's worse.
Okay, I think we're right back to people are right we can't have nice things.
Yep.
Well, anyway, moving on. He got off easy, if you ask me.
Yeah, they could have tarred and feathered him.
Right?
Honestly, I don't think any of those are bad.
Yeah, I think the Wayne seems sick one is probably the best one of these options.
Yeah, I'm calling that one up to you. I don't have an opinion.
Okay. What if there's something toxic in the mines poisoning the town? Wayne seems sick. Honestly, that sounds like one of the most plausible explanations we've had so far.
What about the ditchlings?
I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of parasite down in the mine. Maybe it infected Wayne, and maybe Wayne infected the local wildlife.
Huh, yeah, that could work.
Alright. You get to talk about... Well, no. We just go through them, like, yeah. So, Silas Scarlet. Yeesh, I figured old money from the south wouldn't be great, but, he, sure did some things to get where he was, huh?
That book is a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on the subject.
Yep, dude was a monster. The mines made a lot of money during the Civil War, too, and you can probably guess which side a North Carolinian business owner would be working for. Okay, it said that didn't it say that he was a captain in the Confederacy?
I mean, yes, but Kanika didn't read the book. She doesn't know what it said.
Right, that's true.
Sorry you're related to him. Honestly, no one gets mad if you say the last thing. Or, I mean, that one.
The town is stuck in the past?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go with it. This town is stuck in the past and built on atrocities. It's already practically collapsing onto itself. No offense, but maybe that's why the ditchlings are here.
Also, I think that's actually probably the most accurate.
Right. None taken.
Why would the ditchlings be here now, though? Scarlet Hollow's been like this for as long as I can remember.
Well, let's think, Stella. What just happened? Oh yes, Pearland died. The ownership of the mine has passed to a different Scarlet. So if whatever is going on, she fucks it up, there'll be disaster. That's why they're here now. I mean, what?
Well, I mean, Stella isn't necessarily assuming it's connected to the Scarlet family at this time. We know it's connected to the Scarlet family, but they have no reason to think that at this point.
That's true. But there's exactly one thing in this town that is not connected to the Scarlet family.
I mean, that's true.
And that's the general store.
I mean, technically, the library was kind of its own separate space.
I mean, except that it was like, you know, ground struck by a Scarlet, owned by a Scarlet, like they owned everything.
Well, I mean, no, because he talks about the fact that his house is owned by the government. And not the Scarlets.
But like the town government.
The very few buildings in town that is not currently owned by the Scarlets.
Right, but like the town government, so the dog and the real power.
I mean, are
in
you
town?
sure it's the town government? Like, if it was just the town government, I don't think he'd be that worried about. Like, I thought that like federal government assigned him there, or maybe state government.
I mean, probably state or county at best, but like.
Yeah, state or county.
Didn't think he was like. Hey, Puka, I don't think he was, like, worried enough for it to be, like, a real, actual, scary government.
Well, but, I mean, to be fair, if it was small, like, if it was county government, I'd only kind of worried. I would just be worried they'd make me pay them for the house instead of give it to me on lease.
Right. That's valid. That is valid.
Aww.
All right.
Puka says that they missed hearing us.
Aww. We miss you, too. But, alright, let's keep going, because chapter 2. Alright, folk monsters. So, Appalachian folk monsters. Wampus cats kind of sound like they could be mountain lions. Voice like a woman crying out, somewhere between person-sized and cat-sized. Definitely, they're 100% mountain lions.
Kanika, you know there are no mountain lions up here. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic.
But the myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the Appalachians that long ago. These legends just haven't died off yet. Almost every cryptid can be tracked down to either a hoax or someone getting confused about a perfectly normal animal. Sometimes both. Bigfoot, for instance, started as a prank, Then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out. Now here we are. Oh, okay, so background music is very loud, apparently. Honestly, I think that's going to be best addressed in the actual game settings.
Yeah.
How about now? Is this better? Because it was like loud in my ears as well. Yay, better. Okay.
Excellent.
Alright, we read about Bigfoot already.
You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of a Bigfoot.
Okay, hang on. Apparently I'm also still very quiet, which is just weird because... let me just make sure that we are... Yeah, no, we're using the correct microphone.
I mean, is your mic all the way up in OBS?
My mic was lower than my desktop sound, which is where you are coming from, because that's how we balanced it last time, but let me...
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, yeah, okay, so maybe you don't need to adjust it as far as you did.
Maybe. Is this better now?
If I'm way louder than you, I'd say put your mic and the desktop sound closer together.
Okay, let me... Okay, so it's way better now. Okay, I will leave it be for now. Thank you for doing tech support for us.
It is so helpful to have people to tell us when the sound is
right?
weird.
If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real and literally eat it. I promise.
I'm holding you to it. Okay, here is where you convince her.
Okay. Stella, there was literally a mountain lion in the ditchling nest last night.
Oh my god. What is the thing you're missing for this? I don't even know. Anyway, maybe it was a bobcat. They can get pretty big, you know? That's usually where it convinces her.
Oh, well. I'm sure there's something in the... Maybe in that conversation in the diner where you look at the footage?
Maybe, yeah, maybe we had to.
Well,
I mean, you did say something about it then, didn't you?
I thought so.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah. Do you think the ditchlings are Tommyknockers? What with the whole warning thing?
Good thought, but Tommyknockers live in mines. That's like their whole thing. I'm gonna write it down though.
Tommyknockers are literally just the sounds of what happens when a bunch of rocks and wood are about to collapse.
Are they? Or are they the sound of mysterious creatures pounding on the rocks and support beams with hammers to cause a collapse? There's simply no way to know.
My mom used to tell me that Talipo story back when I was little. I can't believe I forgot that one. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. Thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Talipo, the one that was left after the thing did whatever it did. Now I know that's just because chimneys don't burn down, and wooden houses do.
That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Talipo. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff.
Yeah, I watched that video. You saw raccoons. You gonna get rabies one of these days chasing after wildlife like that?
What can I say? I like to live on the edge.
Ah, rabies are terrifying. Let's move on.
I'd say 1, 3, or 4.
1, 3, or 4. Yeah, I think what do you all think is probably the best way to go here.
Fair, yeah.
What do y'all think?
There's an awful lot of mine-related stuff in my notes. Maybe that should be our next stop. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird.
Just to clarify, you're suggesting we go to question some of the miners, right? We're not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Dot, dot, dot.
Silence.
Right?
Yeah, totally, 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there.
Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines.
I promise, Neeks, we're just going to question some of the miners. And if that question gives us a good reason to poke around, say, a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground.
I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface.
Okay, good. And hopefully we can find out what's wrong with Wayne while we're at it.
Maybe that one, the all right, but let's try to stay under the radar.
Yeah. Alright, but if we're doing this, let's do our best to stay under the radar. I'm already in hot enough water with Tabitha as is. That sounds like a good idea.
We'll be super sneaky, I promise. I can even keep lookout. Look at us, going out on a caper together. I missed this.
I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store I didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though, there is something missing.
Reese.
Reese.
Do you want to try saying it? One,
nah.
2, 3. Reese.
No. Nah.
It's hard to coordinate.
It's hard to coordinate. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately?
Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick.
I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy.
You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Streamer. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's roll out. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina.
You do need to play more of this, Buka.
Thanks, guys. I'll keep y'all posted.
By the way, I'm thinking we probably aren't going to be able to actually do the whole chapter today. Because, like, we started... Okay. We started at, like, 4:30, right?
Do you want to get through the questioning people at the mines and then leave the mines part for next time?
That's my thought, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do that fairly quickly, because I gotta make dinner tonight, too.
I mean, we could also close it here. Like, this is not a bad stop point.
Well, we should
or
probably...
even, like, right after this?
Yeah, like, let's have this
conversation
again when we get to the mine, but before we go in.
Yeah.
I do want to check out and make sure that there isn't anything, like, exciting that I am missing. Like, no Wayne anywhere in the woods or on the porch or anything. But I don't think there is right now. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness.
Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies, too.
Shh, not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. God, this is all coming off so differently, having played Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out.
Nothing strenuous, we promise.
I am not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese.
It's just been so long since either of us have gotten a chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Streamer would get along super well, too.
Hmm,
I mean, we could just straight lie.
yeah, sure. Stella's right. We're just going for a light walk, and I've heard such great things about your son. I'm only in town for a few more days, and it'd be a shame if I didn't get a chance to meet him. Dr. Kelly looks you up and down and sighs. All right, you win. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise that he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. I'm sure he'll be happy to meet you too, Streamer.
That would be great. I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those?
No, eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle.
Okay, I'll bring soda then.
That's not... Okay, yes, fine. You can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home.
I...
Dot, dot, dot.
Okay, no dogs.
Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within.
I know it won't be the same, but God, that girl needs a new dog.
Yeah, seriously. God, that woman makes me so nervous. Are you okay, Stella?
I'm fine. I remember she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese.
Or maybe she's just nice to kids.
Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive?
Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van.
Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Streamer. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods.
Either way works for me.
I don't think we should leave Stella alone. I think she needs to be around people as much as possible.
Yeah, should we be asking her what's up with her and cars or not?
I don't think there's any harm in it. Like, it's kind of reasonable at this point, but, you know, they'll probably brush it off, but...
Yeah, well, let's try it anyway. All right, Stella, what is actually up with you and cars? The mines have got to be a ways off, right? Don't worry about it, Streamer. There's a lot of junk in the back of my van. It gets a little tight with more than 2 people. All right, we're gonna walk with Stella. I'll walk with Stella. We'll meet you there. The woods are calm and serene compared to last night, though you can't help but get the feeling that danger lurks just beyond the trees. No ditchlings yet, right? I don't think.
I don't think so. They haven't come out.
Oh, but there is Wayne.
Oh my God.
I never
You're
noticed.
Right.
I never noticed before. But that's absolutely Wayne.
That's creepy as heck.
Uh-huh.
Hey, thanks for coming along with me.
Well, let's
I think
we can
one.
Yeah. Should we talk about last night though? Like actually talk about it?
I'm good. I appreciate the offer, but I'd really rather not get into it.
Let's ask about Kanika being
like,
a skeptic. I think
like
everything.
That's a little mean to Kanika, and the second one is a little flirty.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
okay,
it
so
doesn't say flirt, but
yeah, but still, I mean, I don't think this is not I don't think this is mean to Kanika because she is a
Yeah,
skeptic.
no, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think. Sure, let's go with that.
Like, she's proud of that. It's hard to
That's true.
imagine you and Kanika doing videos together. She's such a skeptic.
Well, they really weren't as spook focused as my solo stuff. It was mostly just the escapades of three kids with too much time on their hands. Still, she wasn't always such a skeptic. She used to absolutely love reading anything with magic in it, and she still does, I think.
Or, her mom's tea has convinced her not to.
Uh, she just doesn't think that stuff is real anymore. I guess I don't exactly think that way either, but I'm still willing to accept the unexplainable, while she looks for explanations. She keeps me grounded, honestly.
Should we ask about that?
You know what? We can always go back if she responds really badly.
Yeah.
I think maybe trying, I think it would be good for her to talk about it more, talk about things more. So pushing it a little bit seems like
yeah. That's. Is it just me, or does this conversation feel kind of stilted? Are you okay?
Sorry. I guess I'm just a little on edge from being back in the woods, or maybe the exhaustion from last night is finally catching up to me.
The conversation comes to a dramatic halt, both of you whirling around to face the source of the sound. Yeah, so I think that's fine to leave. Because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just a bird. Guess we're both a little on edge, huh?
Yeah, okay, nothing weird here.
Let's hurry to the mine. It shouldn't be much farther. Alright, well, we did our best. We did literally just meet Stella, the day before. It's fair if she's not ready to open up yet.
Yeah, I'm just, looking around for any ditchlings or anything. I'm not
we wanted to talk about if we wanted to maybe pause here.
Yes, we did. Yeah, okay, I'm not seeing any ditchlings, and I'm not seeing, an obvious Wayne. So it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which is was when my plan was to stop streaming, but on the other hand, we've only been on for, an hour and a half. It is a good break point. I do think if we stop, if you have a few minutes to make sure we plan out the next time we're doing this, because I don't think we scheduled.
I mean, we have another one on the schedule. It's not till the 23rd, but...
Am I,
But it's an evening one, which means that we should have an easier time, doing dinner first and then running through to the end of chapter 2.
That is true, and it's the 12th now. And you said the next one is it's next Wednesday the 23rd, and...
Yep.
No, except remember that's the one that I had to cancel?
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's literally the only time
let's
we'll do it off stream.
Yeah, off stream.
We can do that off stream.
So we will be back, but when will be pending.
Right. Let me just make sure I save officially into our official save, which I think was this one. And we can override the Monday one, right? I think
so, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Saved. And yeah. All right. Well, thank you folks for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching.
Yep.
Thank you for lurking, Puka. Sorry about the ads. You do need to make a schedule and also do this. And yeah, I want to watch that. But other than that, I'm gonna go make dinner and then put it in my face. All right. Bye.